We'll still continue more on the latest New Japan Tour Road to Castle Attack, but also we're going to review Dragon Gate's events that took place last January called New Year Gate. We're going to do one on the same day that has evening and the afternoon. So all of that will be reviewed, discussed, and talked about on this episode of Deleted WrestleZone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Get up, get up.
Welcome everybody to Deleted WrestleZone, all things that it's pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I'm your host, J-Rod here. So if you saw this, what I said earlier, that we're continuing the road of Castle Attack. There's 2 days I'm going to review, but first, I'm going to review 2 days of Dragon Gate's events that took place at the end of January called New Year Gate. Now, this particular day, it was in the same day but two different event timings. One in the afternoon, one in the evening. So let's start with the afternoon in Dragon Gate on New Year Gate. First, it started out with Natural Vibes continuing to audition new people to join Natural Vibes. Now, the recent newbie is UT. He was with the Generation group, and before that, he was part of Tribal Vanguard. But they're still continuing to audition. But however, there's still complications. They got interrupted by Team Boku. I don't know, because Punch Tominaga, who's currently with Team Boku, he was a member of Natural Vibes. Don't know what they were saying. There was no subtitles or someone translating for us. So that's kind of the thing that happened. But it was a lot fun moment. But however, in this particular day, they actually started out a tournament to continue who will be the number one contender for the Open the Twin Gate Championship. Now, for those who are new, you ask yourself, what the hell is the Open the Twin Gate Championship? You see, Dragon Gate has a different type of championships. Those who are new, I'm trying to refresh people up who are new to this channel, so let's review that. Each of the Dragon Gate is full of junior heavyweight contenders, so they don't have like weight class type of thing. But the Twin Gate is basically a tag team title, so it's like the standard tag team championship. But there is a trios tag team championship, but they call it the Triangle Gate. That's pretty much it. They even have the Brave Gate. They originally was a high flyer title, but now it's more of a striking title. And of course, there's the big one, Open the Dream Gate. So they had many people to pick out a kind of like cards or what. Whoever has the same one, that's who you're gonna face that very season. So there was 8 teams and 4 matches, and those matches took place near the end. So let's go from start to finish. First match they had is Natural Vibes, consisted of Geki Origuchi, Suzuma Yokozuka, and KZ against RED's Hip Hop Kikuta, Kai, and BB Hulk. The match, of course, these guys have a history with RED in the past. RED with their infamous tricks, trying to ensure they win by using outside help. But this time they didn't prevail. They Natural Vibes won completely, and it was a big shocker for RED. But however, they normally attack their opponents after winning the match, but this time it did not go. So let's keep moving forward. This next match was a best of 2 out of 3 falls. This nonsense with Punch Tominaga, whatever reason, he decided to attack the current Open the Brave Gate champion, Keisuke Okuda. Okuda said he has no beef with Tominaga, with Punch. So it doesn't make sense to to Okuda. Why would he attack him? He had no problems with them when they were in the part of the Dragon Gate Generation faction. But looks like Punch just wants to prove something. So, if you must know, it was Okuda that won this match. 2 falls straight down the road, and Punch lost big time. So, Punch, please stop doing this. Stop embarrassing yourself trying to beat up Okuda. He's too far good than you. You're tough, but Okuda's better. Next match, we had a 6-man tag team match. We got 2 members of Masquerade, Kota Minoura and their leader, Shun Skywalker, who's also the Open the Dream Gate champion, the top champion, teaming with the founder of Dragon Gate, Ultimo Dragon, taking on ROD, consistent of SB Kenta, or SBK as he's called, Kazuma Sakamoto, and of course, Kaito Ishida. Now, there is history with these guys before. Shun Skywalker shocked RD when he defeated their leader, Eita, who was at the time the champion. But of course, they have deep hatred history with Ultimo Dragon, who they believe is disrupting Dragon Gate. That's not true. They just want him gone. So, the match didn't go well for Masquerade and Ultimo Dragon. It allowed for RED to win, all thanks to none other than SB Kento. Now we get to the tournament for the Open the Dream Gate, Open the Twin Gate Championship tournament for the #1 contender. First match, we had UT and Don Fuji taking on Dragon Kid and Yamato. Great match, I was kind of hoping for Dragon Kid and Yamato because they just formed an alliance. But however, it didn't go exactly according to plan. All thanks to UT, who picked up the huge victory. He's being pushed now to go up further. But however, Dragon Kid was attacked by RED. There's some history. SB Kento was the one who pinned him to defeat Toriumon. And of course, Kai, who was once a member of the Dragon Gate Generational faction, still has beef with Yamato. So basically, this is a standard thing where they were sending a message, even though there was no translator, but it doesn't take a genius to guess what they're trying to do. Next match, we have Team Boku, consistent of Ryo Saito and Bokutomo Dragon, taking on the newly formed tag team consistent of former RAD member Takashi Yoshida and, of course, veteran Masaaki Mochizuki. Now, this team was formed when Yoshida was kicked out of RAD, but now he's learning from the master, even though Mochizuki kind of questions why you're old enough. But I think Yoshida wants to go back to the basics, to learn to appreciate what he loves. But this match was great because in this particular match, it did show that maybe there is a possibility that Yoshida and Mochizuki could win the Twin Gate Championships. Why would I say that? Well, it's because Mochizuki is the master. Yoshida, he's going back to the basics, being what he's doing. But he's a powerful dude. But they won their match. That's the way it should be. Next match, we got Kagetora and Yusuke Santameda taking on Suji Kondo and Ben K. Basically, Ben K has come back after his loss to Shun Skywalker months ago when he challenged him for the Open the Dream Gate, but he's now back. He actually re-dyed his hair black instead of blonde from what he had when he was part of the Dragon Gate Generational. But luckily for him, he teamed up with a tougher individual, was Suji Kondo, one of the veterans, and now they won their match. Now the last match was in fact Masquerade, Jason Lee, and the mysterious La Estrella taking on ROD, Diamante, and Neta. Recently, Masquerade has been on a losing effort. Reason is Dragon Die, he's out on injury. They're not in full force, but that is one of the things that happens when it comes to one member down. And it did this did allow for RED to win their match and advance. So basically, we already have the winners for this one. So RED wins this match. So let's move on to the evening. All right. Since I did mention in the afternoon of Dragon Gate's New Year Gate that took place on the 31st of January, they continue more on the Open the Twin Gate Championship #1 contendership tournament. It started out with the four teams that won the first round, now going to the semifinals, and the finals took place at the end of this particular event. So let's go from that. So it's the #1 contendership for the Open the Twin Gate. First match was UT and Don Fuji taking on Takashi Yoshida and Masayaki Mochizuki. This match was also another hard-hitting match. Don Fuji, who knows Mochizuki very well, they're both veterans. But however, it was in fact Yoshida who actually pulled the victory when he powerbombed UT on the mat real hard. Even though he's well aware that he won, but he realized how powerful he is when he may have hurt UT, but it wasn't intentional. He just wants to determine to win, and he knows he won, but we'll see what happens when whoever he faces in the finals. And the next match for that is Suji Kondo and Ben K versus ROD's Diamante and Eita. Now, my presumption is that I always see this with ROD every single time. They always win their matches by ensuring they cheat, but this time it didn't go that way. The match ended up with Kondo and Ben K winning their match, so they will be the ones to face Yoshida and Mochizuki in the finals that took place in the evening, so we'll get to that in a bit. Okay. Next match, we had another tag team. We got Kosuke Okuda and Yamato taking on ROD's Kai and Kazuma Sakamoto. Now, this particular match was set up because there's a rivalry between both Kai and Yamato. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm referring to, last year, 2 years ago, Kai was a member of Tribal Vanguard. But last year, when the factions turned into 3 factions, Kai and Yamato were part of the Dragon Gate generation. But however, Kai defected and betrayed Yamato and joined ROD. It appears that there's been a beef history between these two. You know how that goes. But however, it was in fact now, ROD has their seconds right there to ensure they win. It wasn't enough, but somehow Okuda and Yamato won their match. But however, in post-match, looks like the beef with Kai and Yamato may take a turn. We may see these two fight each other. Now, Kai does have to worry about who will be the #1 contender, since he's one half of the Open the Twin Gate champion, along with BB Hulk. So, the real question is, what he's going to focus first? His grudge against Yamato, or concern over his championship against whoever wins the #1 contendership? So, that's the way I see it. Next match, we have Masquerade in an 8-man tag team match consisting of Jason Lee, Kota Minoura, and La Estrella and Shun Skywalker taking on ROD, Hip Hop Kukida, SB Kento, Kaito Ishida, and BB Hulk. But however, as you know, ROD always has their seconds. Masquerade are not in full force due to Dragon Die being out from injuries. Masquerade are a good team, but however, this particular match showed another side. As I said before, Shun Skywalker is the Open the Dream Gate champion, which is the top championship. But the person who made the win in this particular match is Kaito Ishida. And why did I say that? In the end of the match, he was talking to Shun Skywalker. Now, there is no history for those who follow Dragon Gate. There have been a beef standards between both Shun Skywalker and Ishida. Why am I saying this? Before the factions turned into the generational war, Ishida was part of a faction known as Maximum, and Shun was part of the Mochizuki Dojo, but he left soon after, and Ishida left too. But there was a beef history between Shun and Ishida. But it appears from the way they're talking, even though I don't understand what they're saying in Japanese, it appears that Ishida wants to be the guy to dethrone Shun Skywalker. Now, it doesn't take a genius to see that. If you're going to challenge for the championship, then you make a statement. And Ishida is that guy who is making that statement. Now, Shun is not afraid of anybody. He's not afraid to whoever gets in his way. His last opponent was Ben-K. There hasn't been any challenger who, how do I say this, who stepped up to the plate. But now, Ishida wants to be that guy. And his goal is to ensure that that title, the Dream Gate, returns back to RAD, because it was Shun who defeated the leader of RAD, Eita. So we'll see when that happens. But first, they need to build up the feud between these two. That's the way I would go for. Next match is a very special match. I love this match. It's Team Boku, consistent of Punch Tominaga and Ryu Saito, taking on the Double Dragons. Bokutomo Dragon, who's also a member of Team Boku, teaming up with the father of Dragon Gate, Ultimo Dragon. I mean, I love watching Bokutomo Dragon. He's one of the most entertaining wrestlers I've ever met. Ever since he made his appearance, trying to be a parody version of Ultimo, that never goes away from me. But it was a good match. However, it was like, okay, but right now you're asking me, why is that important? Well, Ultimo and Bokutomo are learning from Bokutomo is a big fan of Ultimo Dragon in the past. But even though he was part of RAD in the past, but now he decided to put that into the back side and concentrate what he loves the most, being a wrestler. And that's what Bokutomo Dragon is doing, being a wrestler. And it was a good match. And of course, they won as always. Now, the next match we have is a 6-man tag team match. We got Yusuke Santamaria, Kagetora, and Dragon Gate taking on Natural Vibes, Genki Origuchi, Suzumu Yokosuka, and KZ. Fun match. It was very entertaining. But however, when it comes to Natural Vibes, consistent only with the members of Genki, Suzumu, and KZ. Those guys are unbeatable. Now, if you ask me, how would I know this? This isn't the first time these guys have teamed up. Before the Generational War, they were the Triangle Gate champions once before. They were a dominant force until they lost their titles to RAD. I think to RAD, yeah, RAD. But they've been trying to get those titles back as soon as possible. But, however, now that they're back, they're making a full force. Now we get to the Twin Gate finals between Takashi Yoshida and Masayaki Mochizuki, taking on Ben-K and Shuji Kondo. Awesome match. Very hard-hitting match. These guys are tough bastards. But I'm like surprised what they were able to do. But I was like hoping, okay, it has to be Yoshida and Mochizuki to win. And the result, it's the way it is. Yoshida once again pinned Ben-K to win the match. But however, they received an unexpected visit from the current Open the Twin Gate champions, RAD's Kai and BB Hulk. Now, they're well aware they're facing a former teammate, but teaming up with the veteran, they feel he needs to retire. That's how it goes. Now, I don't know what they were saying, but I'm assuming that RAD is going to say they're never going to win these titles. That's always been the case when it comes like that. They claim they'll never win. But we'll see what happens when that match comes into fruition. But I'm sure they will build up the whole thing with these two teams when that day happens. So I think that's it for now. So let's move on with the 2 days of New Japan Pro Wrestling's The Road to Castle Attack. Okay, so we got New Japan Pro Wrestling's Road to Castle Attack. This one took place on the 16th of February, which is not that far off. So let's talk about that particular day. First match, we had the Empire, Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay, and Great-O-Khan, along with B. Priestley, taking on Yota Tsuji, Satoshi Kojima, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, you ask yourselves, why Great-O-Khan was the leader? I mentioned the leader always goes last on the list. Well, the reason is this: Great-O-Khan wants to dethrone and retire Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, their feud goes back all the way since late last year. If you know this or not, Will Ospreay had a beef with Okada and he lost that match. Great-O-Khan decided to start a feud with Tanahashi, but both men prevailed. But however, instead of seeing Will Ospreay trying to get his revenge against Okada, he decided not to focus on that. But however, Great-O-Khan is not Will Ospreay. He decided to attack Tanahashi when he won the Never Openweight Champion. Now this feud goes even deeper. Great-O-Khan believes that he is the most powerful guy. He even claims that he owns the Mongolian chops. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, is these moves like this. I hit you right here on the neck. He actually owns it. He even forced Tenzan to not use those chops anymore. But however, the match has proven that Great-O-Khan is determined to end the career of Tanahashi, and it was Jeff Cobb who pinned him. But you ask me, why is Great-O-Khan doing that? Simple. To send a message to send a message to Tanahashi. That's his goal. And every time he ends, he leaves with a little promo indicating that, sooner or later, it's going to be the end of him. And we may never know. That's going to come to fruition. So, the Empire won their match. Next match, we got Bullet Club, consisting of El Phantasmo, Taiji Shimura, Yujiro Takahashi, taking on LIJ's Sanada, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi. Now, this match is viewed because of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles and the Junior Heavyweight Championship that currently on the opposite teams. The Ishimori and El Phantasmo are the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, while Hiromu Takahashi is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So that's why it was built up. But their third man to have, they mostly, Phantasmo and Taiji had Yujiro, Bushi and Hiromu either had Naito or Takagi or Sanada. So that kind of rotates. But however, in this particular match, it was Bullet Club to win, all thanks to Yujiro Takahashi. Next match, we have another Bullet Club match between Chase Owens, Gedo, and JY taking on Chaos, Sho, Toru Yano, and Tomohiro Ishii. Now, Yano has a beef with, Chase has a beef with Yano because he wants to obtain the KOPW trophy, provisional trophy, while Jay White has his issues with Tomohiro Ishii, but Ishii wants to break him in half. This was a good feud. But I'll tell you anyway how this won. It was Chaos won, but that wasn't the best part. The best part is when Ishii was choking the life out of Gedo. Even Jay White has been telling the young boys to stop him. But come on, Don't get involved with Ishii, young lions. You know why? He'll break you in half. You don't want to be his enemy. But it was a message from Ishii to Jay White. Now, Jay White has blamed Ishii for various obvious reasons. It was Ishii who defeated him to ensure he doesn't win the G1 Climax. He actually beat him and not advancing. And of course, it was Ishii who defeated him at New Year's Dash. And that's the reason this feud goes revolve where Jay White is trying to right a wrong on Ishii. So that was like one of the best parts ever. Next match, we got LIJ's Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito taking on Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata, and the god himself, Kota Ibushi. Now, this particular match also led to something special the following day, but that I'll explain later. As you know, this Tetsuya Naito is challenging Kota Ibushi for the Intercontinental Champion, since Ibushi's the title holder of two championships, the Intercontinental Championship and the Heavyweight Championship. But Naito decided to challenge him for that. But he also is trying to prevent Kota Ibushi from unifying both titles. And he's not going to let that happen. So Naito has this way of thinking, if you guys follow. But, of course, it was LIJ that won the match. But can Kota Ibushi try to stay focused, knowing that he has one title at stake that Naito could eventually. But I always wondered why Naito wanted that title in the first place. The reason I say this is because he hates the Intercontinental Championship. That title cost him an opportunity of a main event in Wrestle Kingdom years ago. And that's for another story for another time. Now we get to the main event. We got Bullet Club, Tama Tonga Loa, and Evil taking on Chaos, Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto, and Kazuchika Okada. Now, you ask yourselves, what's so special about this one now? Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa were being challenged by Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. It was Yoshida that pinned one of the GOD members, Tonga Loa. And now, Okada wants Evil in the ring, but Evil has been ignoring him. But finally, Evil acknowledged, okay, you want your match? I'll give you your damn match. That's what he wants. But however, with Bullet Club, they have been mostly dominant on most occasions, and this night was no exception, and they won this match. But of course, leaving a message from Bullet Club saying, you see the GOD, Tama and Tonga, saying that to Goto and Yoshihashi will never win those titles. But at the same time, Evil is giving him that look that he's going to lose this match. So that's how I see it in this particular match. So let's move on with the following day of the Road to Castle Attack on the 17th. Alright, so we got the 17th of the Road to Castle Attack by New Japan. So let's go from start to finish. Once again, it's Empire, Cobb, Ospreay, and Great-O-Khan taking on Kid, Tenzan, and Tanahashi. Once again, in this particular match, it did show how powerful and dangerous Empire is. But once again, it was Jeff Cobb who won this match. Recently, Jeff Cobb is making the final blow. But however, this is Great-O-Khan's way of sending a message to Tanahashi. Since we do know Great-O-Khan will be challenging Tanahashi for the Never Openweight Championship. So that is the reason it happened. Now, the next match, we have Bullet Club, Chase Owens, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga, and Jay White taking on Chaos's members, Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto, Toru Yano, and of course, and Toru Yano and Kazuchika Okada. So basically, once again, Bullet Club hasn't forgotten. Jay White, on the other hand, hasn't forgotten no, was it Toru Yano? No, it's and Tomohiro Ishii. I forgot, my bad. Tomohiro Ishii. But Jay White hasn't forgotten what happened to Gedo the previous night, where he was being choked out to death by Ishii. Now, Ishii could be a very dangerous man, but when you get on Ishii's bad side, that's when he's dangerous. Jay White has crossed the line on various occasions because he blames Ishii for his loss at the G1 and loss at New Year's Dash. But it didn't happen that way. But once again, Bullet Club continues to throw in their tactics. But this time, they won their match. But post-match, they decided to choke out everyone. Jay White was choking out Ishii just to send up a point. So, kind of crazy how that went down. So, it's Jay White's gaining payback for Gedo for what Ishii did to him. So, I don't blame him, but it is what it is. Now we got the other members of Bullet Club, El Phantasmo, Taiji Shimura, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on LIJ's Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi. But this time, it was a little different. Reason I say this, Shingo Takagi is one tough bastard. He literally made the never open weight title what it is. Now, if you guys ask yourself, why is that important? He made that title be, it's only the strongest who will survive to obtain a title. And he's one of those guys. But it was him who made the official pin on Yujiro. And basically, as you know, Hiromu likes to play mind games with people. He's been playing mind games with El Phantasmo the entire time. He brought a cardboard cutout of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Crazy, huh? But that's how it is. Now we get to this match that's kind of awesome for me. Sanada taking on Blue Justice, Yujiro Nagata. Now this was unexpected, but however, it was a very good match. Now you ask me, why is that? Reason is, Yuji Nagata, he is an amazing wrestler. He strikes hard. He can even put you on a submission. And I feel like this is one of those matches where Sanada was put through the test to face a guy like him. I was like so astounded how good this match was, you know. But however, it was Sanada who prevailed by putting the skull in on Nagata. I mean, wow. One of the best matches. So he won his match. But there was an issue that took place. I didn't know about this until I watched it. There was a fifth match. That one was between Bullet Club members Dick Togo and Evil taking on Sho and Okada. That match was never broadcast. There were some technical difficulties coming from Japan. But if you want to know who won this one, it was in fact Sho and Okada that won. So basically, in a way, I don't know what to expect. But this feud between Okada and Evil is building up really nicely. So I think this is it for now for you guys. There will be more videos coming soon. I will be reviewing later on today the Wednesday Night War, who won it, what were some good matches that they throw in, all of that. So I'll see you guys next time. So I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang!